Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we'll be taking a look at Primitive's Tempo Mage. This deck was up on Hearthstone. You can go check it out if you are watching this video on YouTube. It's always in the description. Jump over there, check it out. Very standard deck today. Not too much interesting going on. Tempo Mage is a fairly well figured out archetype. It's fairly solid. There's not a lot you can really do with it, but we do occasionally see people trying things out with some tech cards, or changing a couple of these early drops. For those of you who haven't seen Tempo Mage before, it's a very straightforward linear strategy. We're going to try and land a turn 1 mana worm, curve out with things like Arcanologist, Frostbolt as removal for our opponent's spells, Primordial Glyph to find the right kind of spells, or cards like Sorcerer's Apprentice. We're just going to try and have a very early minion focused game, remove our opponent's minions, try and stay on board as long as possible, get as much minion damage in as possible. We're going to use cards like Current or Mage to gain a lot of tempo. By playing this on 3, a 4/3 is a great body, but means we also get to play Explosive Runes to answer our opponent's next minion, deal some face damage. Counterspell, stop our opponent from controlling the board. Counterspell on a swipe or something like that can be completely devastating and allow you to get so much more minion damage in. And the reason we're so focused on minion damage is because we don't have a lot to do after that. You can see there's no minions after turn 4. Instead, we want to get as much damage in as possible so that we can use our reach. So cards like Fireball, cards like Frostbolt, even cards like Cinderstorm and Explosive Runes, and of course our Hero Power, we're going to use those to finish the game off and kill our opponent. We sometimes see cards like Leroy in these decks as well, or Reckless Rocketeer in some budget versions. But we're going to use those to finish the game off. We even have cards like Stargazer Luna, Arcane Intellect, and more typically Alaneth, in order to dig through our deck to make sure that we can find said fireballs, Primordial Glyph to find more fireballs. We even sometimes see one of Pyroblasts in these decks, just to make sure that they have the reach to get the game done. So what Primitive has done with the kind of typical Tempo Mage, we don't see Alaneth in here. I'm not sure if that's like a budget constraint, or they don't believe Alaneth is very good, or it kills you more often than it wins you games. Instead, they've actually teched in a single Ironbeak Owl, which is a really curious choice. Obviously a pretty low impact card in some matchups, but could potentially allow us to sneak through a taunt or something like that. Like we said, get a little bit more minion damage through. But outside of that, it's all the pretty straightforward Tempo Mage game plan. So what we're going to be paying attention to is how good this Ironbeak Owl is, how much we miss the Alaneth, and we'll make a call after a couple of games. So let's see how we go. Alright, another hunter.
You asked for it.
Been seeing a lot of hunters lately. So this is a tough call. Obviously with this kind of deck, it's very important that we get Mana Worm on turn 1. Sorcerer's Apprentice is a good 2, but we also have, we've got 2 Sorcerer's Apprentices, we've got 2 Arcanologists, we've got Blood Mage Thalnos, we've got Primordial Glyphs. All of those are cards that we're happy to kind of do on turn 2. So there's a high chance we draw one of those, and we really just want to maximize our chance of getting Mana Worms. So this might be a bit too aggressive of a mulligan. I certainly wouldn't fault anyone for keeping a Sorcerer's Apprentice there. I'm going to get to see what our opponent's up to. I think we'll go for the Apprentice here. Just because it doesn't get cleared by a candle shot, which our opponent could definitely be on. Coin. Eagle Horn Bolt. Spider Bomb. So the Spider Bomb, of course, threatens to trade all kinds of ways with mirror image. We could also get another Thalnos, but I actually really like this mirror image. It's not exactly a high tempo play per se. Oh, sorry, it's not a high value play. It's a very high tempo play. The explosive runes is also quite risky. My hope is that our opponent's going to try and play like a Death Scale Stalker or something, but if they just play a raw Devil's or Egg, we're in trade. So he didn't go for the magnetic there. Maybe let's go Arcanologist, Arcane Intellect. Or Arcanologist, and we can potentially play the secret that we get. Counterspell. I think we'll just play the Arcane Intellect. Well, Counterspell could be good, especially if our opponent's relying on like a flanking strike here. Ooh, Galvanizer. Might be a bit of a spicy build here from our opponent. Just get all our minion damage in, and
we have many secrets.
Just kind of stick to the game plan here. If our opponent wants to kill our board, like, whatever, that's fine.
Access denied.
There's actually a reasonable, it was worth tanking there to consider if we wanted to hero power rather than crossbow.
We have many secrets.
It's definitely one of those moments where having Alaneth in the deck is
Fleshlings are so fragile.
really significant. May have to fireball this. That Pyroblast is pretty good.
For Dalaran.
So now we kill them even if they have, like, say, Deathstalker Rexar. Rexar trade here, which would be a pretty good play. Pyroblast kills them through it. Wow, interesting deck from our opponent.
Masterful. I concede.
Cobalt Scalebanes, mech themes. Interesting. Okay, here against the Shaman. Once again, I think we just want to make sure that we find our Mana Worm, particularly if it's even Shaman. We're gonna need a pretty good start to stay in this game. Glyph into Pyro for the win, and didn't even need to cast it, but I couldn't think of much that our opponent could do that would beat that.
I should meet you.
Okay. Just gonna play this Mana Worm raw. Not going to do anything fancy. I think it's likely our opponent has some kind of reasonable answer for us. But they do not. Sweet, so we managed to dig up a secret for our Kirin Tor Mage, so we're not going to feel too bad next turn about you know, not having something to pair with it.
Speak to me.
Do you want to Frostbolt this? Yeah, actually, I think we do. If we have the mana one. Job done. I wonder if the Lightning Storm here. 50-50. 50-50 on that mana worm.
Nice to meet you.
Let the pain speak to me.
Potentially getting baited into a volcano here. Could have gone for the Frostbolt to get another damage in, but if we draw a Cosmic Anomaly, we can exchange it. All right, so this does give our opponent three shots at a healing range. Which does suck. Maybe we can
We have many secrets.
trick them into doing something goofy if we get a secret down. They might think it's counterspell, not go for it.
Someday I'll be just like you.
For Dalaran.
Happy to use Cinderstorm for 5 face damage there. Don't think we're going to get much more good use out of it. What's their best play here that involves using a Healing Rain? Healing Rain into 4. Be like Healing Rain, Lightning Storm, and hit the 50-50. This could also lead us to believe that they have Lightning Storm. Trying to hit the spell damage total. Is this 7? 3 and 3? Okay.
For Dalaran.
Got him. Now, those games that you play against Control Shaman or Sherlock or whatever, where they don't have the Healing Rain, feel pretty good.
The hunt begin.
You asked
Okay.
for it.
Another Hunter. Same strategy as always. Send it back. Hopefully get that mana worm. Let's see it. Ugh, no dice. Ooh. Now we kind of see why the one of the downsides of Tempo Mage is that because we have to play so many of these reach spells, a lot of reactive board control spells. If we don't have the board presence ahead of time,
Someday I'll be just like
it can get really loose. And that was a great draw.
Truth is found in death.
Two cards, please. Explosive runes to go with our Kirin Mage is great. So let's just crossbolt this idiot. I'm gonna save this frostbolt. Whilst it uses our mana here, we have this elemental. If they want to make a bunch of Devil's Laws, they can.
We have many secrets.
They can go ahead. We'll take our face damage where we can get it. Flanking strike? Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark. Playboy. Tracking? Why did they Hunter's Mark this? Candle shot? Interesting they're so concerned about the Sorcerer's Apprentice. But I understand.
For Dalaran. What to do? What to do?
an incredible discovery.
Trying to get that shooting star played before we play this Cosmic Anomaly and break all their eggs. Grizzly's pretty good. Interesting they didn't kill the Arcanologist. So we've got Anomaly, Fireball, Ping next turn. 8.
Where's my...
5, 8. Ooh, it's King Crush. Sweet. So get him for exacting.
Science overwhelmed.
Nice. Ruby gonna go lay down for it? Go for it. Take care of yourself. Hopefully having a nice good rest makes you feel better. We're gonna take a look at this deck. Ultimately, Tempo Mage, we did Tempo Mage things. The deck is fantastic. I will say I don't think the Ironbeak Owl it comes in over the Alaneth. I think there are, in almost all of those games except the last one there. Like, Alaneth is maybe not so good when you're ahead, because you can do better things whilst you're ahead, but it's one of the few cards where if you're behind, you'll really get yourself back into the game. Or if things are like kind of so-so, like 50-50, like you're not sure your opponent might be able to get ahead, you might be able to get ahead, unsure. Alaneth is what breaks that. So, and also I don't think at any point in time, maybe in that last game we could have like silenced a Witchwood Grizzly and gotten 2 extra face damage in, or something along those lines. It was very, very minute the amount of times where this Ironbeak Owl would have been relevant. So I'm still pretty confident that Alaneth is, a big part of Tempo Mage and should be a big part of Tempo Mage or Aggro Mage. The Thalnos is a great option if you're looking for a budget alternative. You can go with cards like Celestial Emissary, you can go with cards like Amani Berserker, you can go with Mana Addict is another fantastic one. But anyway, if you're watching this video on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to Hearthstone. Check out the deck, leave a lovely thoughtful comment for our friend Primitivve here. You can also leave a lovely thoughtful comment on the YouTube video. And make sure you come check out things on Twitch. Give us a follow. Check us out. We stream at weird Australian time, so you might not catch us, but when you do, I guarantee you it'll be a fun time. Until next time, stay safe and stay wavy. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.